Hey, what's up? It's Sunday today. Just busy studying some numerical methods. But today's video is actually different. Today's video is about health and fitness and how actually tracking health and fitness over the past month and a half with the Fitbit I got for my birthday has led to some pretty interesting observations about my lifestyle and just how I feel about every day. It's been really interesting actually. So straight away I can say that the days when I'm stationary and staying inside and not moving, I'm far more unhappy and depressed than when I'm out there moving and getting the odd 10,000 steps or whatever per day and that. And literally I can feel, obviously within the past few weeks I've been working really hard on that with reports and that due and that. And the days that I spent inside working and didn't go out and exercise were noticeably shittier days than the days that I was out in between lectures, doing stuff, running places, getting my heart rate up. And it's just made me think a lot more recently about how we define our days as good or bad based on what happened, but how much of that is actually caused by our internal hormones and our internal physical health. How often have you stood up, how often have you eaten, how much have you exercised today. We very rarely think about that impacting our happiness every day, but maybe that actually has a lot more to do with how we feel every day than how was your day, what did you do, how did people treat you. So the biggest attraction on the Fitbit is probably the heart rate monitoring, and so my resting heart rate is around 55 and it goes down to 45 when I'm sleeping, as you can see on this graph here. And I think it's very interesting in that when I'm sitting down for a long period of time it gets down into the 50s, and I wonder that perhaps when I'm sitting for a long period of time, if that heart rate, that blood flow slowing down and not pumping faster, if that really does cause me to become more sleepy and less active in that. Because I know they say if you're feeling tired in that when you're studying, you should get up, go walk around, have a break in that. But obviously when you do that, your what's it called? Your heart rate goes up, and that makes you feel better. And it's just been an interesting thing while I've been sitting here studying so much numerical methods and that, to think about how your heart rate and that impacts how well you actually study and learn academic material. Also been very interesting is I've been recently training for the 947 cycle challenge again this year, and so I've been doing a lot of cardio as opposed to usual weights and that. When I'm doing weights, my heart rate is always around the 120s and I can never get it higher than this, but whenever I'm doing cardio it's obviously always 140 and higher. And it's been very interesting recently. I mean, I enjoy doing lots of different exercises and that, but to see how my happiness and my feeling about the day and that is after doing cardio and how it is after doing weights. Because oftentimes actually when I leave a weightlifting session, I feel okay and I feel good, but it's not on the same level of ecstasy and endorphin infueled happiness, I guess, that I often get after running. And it's just really interesting to see how even the different types of exercises you do can impact how you feel about your day and how you go about just living, really. Another big thing that the Fitbit does is sleep tracking, and I'm not sure about how accurate it is because it definitely underrepresents the amount of sleep I get by about an hour, because it doesn't count the awake time where you roll over and you come out of your deep REM sleep and that. But it's really interesting to see how often you wake up and you shift between different cycles of sleep during the night, and definitely thinking about the past few weeks of working in that, the worst days I've had have been when I've slept the least in that. But that's also interesting because then when I'm not sleeping a lot, it's because I'm staying awake to do a report or write a study for a test or something. And how much of your unhappiness during the day is caused by that stress, and how much of it is caused by just not getting enough sleep the night before. And so it's very interesting to think about. I got a book about the science of sleep though for my birthday, and I'm really excited to read it. But I haven't read it yet, but I think the number one tip, I watched a TED Talk the author gave, the number one tip he gave for good sleep was to go to bed at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every morning. And so I've been pretty consistent with this, despite the fact that work and coming home and going to varsity has changed, over the past few weeks and that, with the end of the semester and exams and that. I've constantly been getting to bed around 12 and waking up at 6, give or take 2 or 3 hours on crazy days. But that consistency, I think, has allowed me to, in the past few months really of varsity, still maintain a decent level of health and happiness in that, because the circadian rhythm is just so set to around midnight, go to bed, 6 a.m., get up, start the day. And just the sleep graph has been so interesting in seeing that consistency over time and how it maps to health and happiness. all in all, in the past few months, it's just been really interesting to track and to, for the first time, be aware of how my physical statistics of exercise and health every day map to my physical and mental health and happiness every single day. And I've definitely had a better semester this semester, I think because I've only been taking 4 modules at varsity as opposed to the 5 I should be taking. But then again, also this end half of the year, we're doing lots more cardio than weightlifting because we've been starting to run again and not doing a hectic gym program and trying to lose a bit of weight for the 947 and doing a lot more cardio. And I have lost 6 kilograms in the last 2 months. And it's just been really interesting to map and to identify and to just observe that health and happiness and to see if they're correlated at all to changing my exercise routines and that. And I think that's the importance of a fitness tracker. Obviously, a bit of a gimmick really, not the average person doesn't really need to be tracking their health so intensely. But if it makes you a happier person and it makes you, makes you think every day, I haven't stood up today, maybe I should go outside and do something and be active and fit and healthy, then maybe it's worth the gimmicky nature. I don't know, it's just something I've been thinking about a lot and I wanted to make a video about it. And so yeah, just wanted to make a quick video about my thoughts and observations about owning a Fitbit and tracking my fitness and my health. As you can tell, I am very bored studying, and so just had to make something different for my mind to take a break from numerical methods. But back to it now. So thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you soon with a non-studying video.